Report on the streaming news and sports network is being brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
I love working here because of the people, and I get to work with my family every day.
Come to Charlene's Diner for the best breakfast you've ever had.
That was Brittany and Matt from Charlene's Diner on Main Street in Jewett City. There are only a few things that have been able to stand the test of time in Jewett City, and one of them just happens to be Charlene's Diner, who just celebrated their 40th anniversary in business. How do you stay in business that long in a small town like Jewett City? It's a simple recipe, really great food and friendly service, and of course, family. You'll feel like family too, because you'll always be greeted with a smile that makes you feel like you're right at home. Stop by for breakfast or lunch 7 days a week. If you don't have any time, well, that's no problem. Order ahead and your food will be waiting for you when you walk into Charlene's door. You can find Charlene's Diner on Facebook too. Stop in and join the family for breakfast or lunch today.
I'm Charlene. Come to Charlene's Diner and order what you want and eat what you get.
Here's a look at your local news headlines on SNSN. On Sunday, May 2nd at about 12:57 p.m., 55-year-old David Mack of Griswold was traveling north in his 1992 Mazda Miata on Hopeville Road just before the intersection of Leicester Road in Griswold. For an unknown reason, the Miata swerved towards the southbound lane of travel and crossed the yellow line and then collided with a metal guardrail located on the right shoulder of Route 201. Upon colliding with the metal beam guardrail, Mack swerved back towards the northbound lane and continued towards a grassy area where he collided with a tree. David Mack was pronounced dead on scene by Griswold Fire Department personnel. There was a passenger in the car, 17-year-old Ben Mack of Lexington, Massachusetts, who also sustained life-threatening injuries and was transported to Bacchus Hospital. The accident remains under investigation, and if you have any information or had witnessed this accident, please call Troop E, Connecticut State Police at 860-848-6500. The accidents continue to pile up on Connecticut roadways. On May 1st at about 7:27 p.m., 42-year-old William Richmond of Voluntown was traveling west in his 2020 Jeep Wrangler on Route 138 in Voluntown when he stopped at a stop sign located at the intersection of routes 138 and 165. Richmond attempted a left-hand turn into the westbound lane on 165, and as Richmond attempted to cross the yellow line, he made contact with 24-year-old Craig Young of Lisbon, who was riding his Yamaha motorcycle. Young was dislodged from his motorcycle and ended up in the roadway. Richmond was not injured in the accident. However, Young was transported to Rhode Island Hospital for treatment of his injuries via Lifestar. Both vehicles were towed, and the accident remains under investigation with Trooper Collier at Troop B, Connecticut State Police. And if you witnessed the accident or have any information, please contact Trooper Collier at 860-848-6500. Today is election day for the Board of Warden and Burgesses in the Borough of Jewett City. Polls opened at 6 a.m. this morning and will remain open at Town Hall until 8 p.m. tonight. Jewett City Warden Tim Sharkey will serve his second term as he is running unopposed, as is Valerie Pudva, the town clerk. Voting will decide on who will serve as Burgesses in the Borough of Jewett City. Once again, voting ends at 8 p.m. That'll be at Town Hall in Griswold, 28 Main Street. Food distribution boxes will continue to be given out in the town of Griswold from farm to families. They're going to be Monday, May 3rd, May 10th, May 17th, and May 24th. The food boxes will be given away from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. or until they run out, whatever comes first. It's going to be at the Griswold Senior Center over at Town Hall, 22 Sewell Street, here in Jewett City. Now, the box is free. There's no paperwork that is necessary. You simply drive up, they put the box in your car, and you drive away. It's all at the Griswold Senior Center and at Town Hall. Again, May 3rd, May 10th, May 17th, and May 24th. In high school sports over the weekend, Griswold lost a couple of baseball games to the Woodstock Academy, 8-2 in the first game and 5-0 in the second. Griswold softball team, the girls took their very first loss of the season by losing also to Woodstock Academy by the score of 1-0. In Plainfield, there was a doubleheader against Lyman Memorial, and Plainfield High School won both games against Lyman Memorial on Saturday. Next game on SNSN will be Griswold against Killingly, live from Griswold High School. That'll be tomorrow. Game time is 4 p.m. on SNSN YouTube.
The 9 a.m. report on SNSN has been brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want. Eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
And good morning. It's 9:05. Time to take a look at the forecast right now for Eastern Connecticut. Here he is, Paul Ash.
Good good morning, everybody. Right now, the temperature downtown Jewett City is 59 degrees. Partly cloudy this morning, then becoming cloudy there in the afternoon. Highs will be around 68 degrees. For tonight, rain, lows near 50 degrees over. The wind will blow between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. And of course, be a Tuesday. Well, it's going to be cloudy skies. Could be a stray shower, a thunderstorm around, possibly. Highs will be around 61 degrees. For Tuesday night, becoming cloudy. Occasional light rain after midnight. Lows around 48. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Monday, 05/03/2021.
All right. Thank you very much, Paul. You know, it's funny because I was I put the Facebook Live up, and tons of people just filed in.
Really?
Filed in.
Looking
Then half
Austin.
of them left during the news, which cracks me up because it's like there's no information out there. I don't know what to do. I didn't know that was happening. And guess what?
It's all right there.
It's all right there. And they leave. And here's the other thing too: is we got something really, really cool to give away this morning,
Oh, I guess
and they're gonna miss out on that too.
Oh,
there it
man.
goes.
Well, that's what you get.
So basically, we're giving something away today valued at $100. $100. And people go, yeah, no, you know,
Not worth it. Not
I
worth it.
don't need that. No, not at all.
And guess what?
What?
It's free.
It's free. It's absolutely free. So I do get a kick out of that when people, you know, say, all right, you know, I'm gonna do this. And then they find out within 30 seconds that they figure it's not important. Okay, bye. See you later.
Yep.
So we have the borough elections today in the borough of Jewett City, and I walked into a store on Saturday, and then I was asked, so why do we have two separate elections? Why don't we have just one for Griswold? And I went, what are you talking about? And they said, well, you know, we're voting, because I told them, I said Monday we have a vote and then we have one on Friday. I mean, on Wednesday, excuse me. And he said, why don't we just do it all? And I said, well, it's because it's two different things. I said, one is for the borough of Jewett City. Linda says I'm still there.
No.
Thanks, Linda. Thanks for hanging with us. The borough of Jewett City. The second one is for the cost overruns for the senior center, the additional $760,000. And then this guy says to me, he goes, well, why don't they just do it all in one, you know, for the Jewett City Senior Center? I said, it's not the Jewett City Senior Center. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I had to actually tell him that, you know, there's Griswold and Jewett City. They have two separate governments, two separate tax bases.
Right.
You know, the borough of Jewett City has its own thing, its own charter. And then there's the town of Griswold. This is why borough residents get, well, before they used to get two bills, but now it's all consolidated into one.
Yeah.
You get a town bill, and you get a borough bill. So double dip. So, you know, a lot of people have said, well, why don't they just get rid of the borough of Jewett City and stuff like that? Never happen. It'll never, ever,
It'll
ever
never happen. There's too many Too many people want to keep it as Jewett City, so it's never going to
Right. You know, even when I was growing up, I didn't know what Griswold was.
because it was always Jewett City.
It was always Jewett City. Everything was Jewett City.
Yeah.
Even Lisbon, I thought was Jewett City because 376 on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, so, what do I know?
Yeah.
And the zip code was 06351. So,
Exactly.
same thing with parts of Allentown and Patchogue.
I think, yeah, they had a 376 number.
Now you get out towards Stonington, it changes
Yeah.
a little bit, but
Yeah.
it went to an 822. Good morning, Laura. Good morning. Good morning, Donna.
Donut?
Donna.
Oh, I thought you said donuts.
No, I didn't say donuts.
Maybe you're going to bring us some donuts.
Huh? No. I gotta go on a rant later on.
Uh-oh.
Well, Melissa and I have been wanting to open up a coffee shop. We've been trying, but the biggest challenge that we've had is actually finding a spot to put it. So about 2 months ago, we went to where the old Blades and Beauty salon was, right next to the gun shop, right? Because it had opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly's doing, I guess, her own thing at home, and Frankie's got, Bully Baggers, motorcycle shop up on Route 12. So it opened up, and we called the owners and stuff, and we went in there, measured it out, did a whole bunch of things, and then he was like, "Well, I don't know how it's going to work out," and I'm like, "Okay." And next thing you know, we find out the very next day. He goes, "Yeah, I rented it out." And I said, "Did you already know this the day before?" And he said, "Yeah, kind of, but I wanted to." And I said, "Why didn't you just tell me?" Whatever. What a bunch of crap. So we kind of went ahead and said, "All right, we're gonna wait around, see if we can find something else." So Rosa is out of business.
She's out of business.
Yeah, she's gone. It just didn't work out apparently.
Yeah.
Not enough people giving to her GoFundMe. But anyway, sorry, I had to do that. Then there's a little 100 square foot spot right next to Rose's, or what was Rose's wasn't even a thing, next to Subway. So you called the owner of that, told her what we were going to do. Everything was like, okay, great. This was on Friday. He says, "Well, why don't you call me on Saturday? Tell me what you want to do." And I said, "Okay." So I called her at 5:55 on Saturday. And she goes to me, she goes, "Yeah, I already got somebody else looking at it." I said, "What are you talking about? You told me to call you on Saturday." "Well, yeah, I get out of work at noon." And I'm like, No. I said, "I had 2 ball games that I had to broadcast." I said, "So now it's like, it's 5:55. I'm calling you when you told me." "Yeah, well, I don't know if I want somebody in there using all that water and sewage and all that." I'm like, "What are you looking for?" So she goes, "Well, if this other person doesn't take it, I'll call you." I said, "No, don't bother." So we had a spot, and then now we don't. So now there's 2. That's like, what the hell did we do? And the funny thing is she hasn't been a great judge of character because nothing's worked out in that damn building yet. So good for you, lady.
Wow.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't.
You're not doing too well.
No, I don't know what it is. I have no idea what the hell the problem is. So
Change your name.
Stop. So I was pretty pissed off about that.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I wasn't asking for your damn sympathy, Paul. I'm just telling you a story. So, all right, just so you know, this morning we got a $100 gift card to Big Y to give away. That's what we got, courtesy of our friends from Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. I was holding one, just holding it, thinking, all right, I'm going to wait. But boom, today is the day we're going to give away a $100 gift card to Big Y. We tried to put it out there, but apparently it's not important enough for anybody. So, $100 gift card to Big Y, courtesy of Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank.
Yeah.
It's today. We're going to do one more.
A couple of landlords are probably going to call in.
Huh?
A couple of landlords probably going to call in.
I mean, we've been here 5 years, paid our rent, maybe a couple weeks later, something like that, But every month it's paid, every single month.
I don't know I don't know. It's surprising. Maybe they don't want that kind of business in there.
Well, then she should have said that to me the day before. She said to me, what she said to me? She goes, I'm really concerned about the water usage. And she goes,
Which water are you going to use?
I don't know. And she goes, we may have to adjust, and I went, that's fine. And I told her that. I said, that's okay. I don't want it to be unfair to you. And then boom, and then she just like changed. It's like, whatever, lady.
Wow. There's some coffee shop around.
So it had nothing to do with me not calling her on Saturday, which I did do. It had all to do with.
Where's the closest place to sell coffee?
Well, there's Dean's and Charlene's, but in the borough of Jewett City, there's nothing.
What about that?
What?
The mall there where the gas station is.
They haven't done coffee in a long time because
they haven't?
No.
Oh, okay.
But even if they did, and you know what, there's a lot of traffic that goes up and down that road.
Oh, there is.
There's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Pretty pissed off about it.
I wish you would get
Thanks
it.
a lot, Nancy. Appreciate it.
I wish you would get it because that way we'd have free coffee and donuts every day.
Yeah.
Or crumpets or whatever the hell he's going to make in there.
So Daniel says,
Yeah.
problem people are used to beating around the bush, not telling the truth and thinking it's okay. You're so true. That shows the integrity that people have nowadays. It is true. Oh my God. It's ridiculous.
Sounds like politicians.
Well, you know what? Everything she's put in that damn building is left. She hasn't kept anybody over there. So maybe her method is wrong.
Could be.
It's what's the definition of crazy? Doing the same thing over and over again and thinking that it's going to change. If they can't be straightforward, you don't need them in your life. And most of all, you don't need to rent a space from them. And you're right.
Wow. Well, you're trying to stay inside Jewett City, too.
Carol L. Nicky, hello.
Yeah. I assume you're trying to stay inside of Jewett City.
Linda says, how about opening a bakery? No. and I'll tell you why. Number one, your work is never done. And second, in a restaurant, or a bakery. But number two, no one is ever going to live up to ceremonies in this town. Maybe in 30 years, when all the old folks, that are around here, been here for the last 40, 50 years, are gone and paws up dead, nothing's going to hold a candle to ceremonies, because everybody's going to be like, well, it's ceremonies. My God, and the old ceremonies, they still call it the old ceremonies building. Okay? Even though there was another guy. Do you even remember the guy? Giuliano. Jack Giuliano was in there, for 1 year to the day.
Yeah.
And he fought it and fought it and fought it because everybody called it the old ceremonies.
Yeah.
He couldn't even build anything.
No.
So
plus, because ceremonies prices were so low.
Yeah, his prices weren't.
Well, he came out of Niantic, so
he still has this shop down there, which is very successful.
Right.
But the fact is that until the stigma of Ceremonies Bakery is gone, nobody.
I missed the chocolate donuts.
Yeah,
Warm
me
ones
too.
on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
I know. I get it. I miss them too.
Yeah.
But until Linda, be the change. There is no change. It's in our society. They're a part of the Jewett City culture. It's not going to change.
No.
And no one's going to be able to hold a candle to them. And everybody is going to compare a new bakery to Ceremonies. And if you even somewhat measure up, then you might make it. But otherwise, you ain't got a shot in hell.
Right.
Yep.
You ain't got a shot in hell.
That's true.
Because everybody still remembers Ceremonies. So you bring another bakery in, they go, even on Grizzled now. It's like, because God knows there's never any controversy there.
No. they always know what's going on.
Yeah, they know everything.
They're not opinionated at all.
And today in the news, oh, you read Grizzled now? Good night. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'd love to be the change, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because everybody's going to compare it to Air Monies, or at least the people that
Well, you know
remember Air
something?
Monies.
Buy a food truck.
No,
Why not?
I don't want a food truck for it.
You can have a food truck that just sells coffee and pastry.
That's a lot of overhead and a lot of money for. Yeah, I'm going to go out and spend 10 grand on a truck. No. Because you know what? You have to do all the fairs. You have to do all the
You
events.
don't have to.
Where am I going to put it? Where am I going to put
You
a
don't
food
have to
truck?
buy the big square box van type of food
I'll
truck.
sell it out of the back of my SUV then, if that's the way it's going to be.
There are some that are just small pickups that have a little box on the back with some heat and used to go to job sites all the time. Come on.
Yeah.
You're already selling coffee, and tea, and
know.
drinks, and homemade donuts, and whatever else you're going to do.
I'm not making any donuts.
Well, what are you making?
I'm not making anything.
Well, what are you selling?
You know what? I'm gonna go half and half what everybody else does in this town. We go down to BJ's and buy this 6-pack of muffins and call them $3 a muffin. That's what I'm gonna do. How about that muffin? Oh yeah, it's delicious. Oh, it's Where'd you get it? Oh, freshly baked. At BJ's. God. Linda said, why don't you Paul do it?
Me do it?
Yeah, well, you're sitting here, barking a lot, and
I don't want to open up a business. I'm just trying to give you some ideas.
Mm.
You can't get a place permanent, then get one with 4 wheels.
What about Austin? What do you think? What should I do, Austin? You're a worldly 19-year-old young man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's with the food truck idea, and you said it too. It's tough because especially here, where are you gonna put it on Main Street? Where are you gonna put it on Main Street that isn't just blocking traffic or creating
Havoc.
Yeah, creating a public.
So then I got to put
hazard.
then I got to put it in a parking lot somewhere, and then somebody's going to own that parking lot. What do you think is going to happen?
You're gonna have to pay out the nose to park there, and then you're not going to get much business because nobody's going to want to go in there because it's out of their way, and then all these other things, and then you got to jump the fair circuit because you ain't gonna make any money just sitting right here.
Preach, preach.
No,
I think he's spot on.
Being realistic, but I want to be optimistic because it's something you could do, Mike. You're a resourceful guy. You're a smart fella. You can do it.
Well, maybe not the smart fellow.
Fart smeller.
That maybe.
Everybody likes their own brand.
It's an Austin Powers kind of movie.
Yes.
Get your little rosebud near.
Did you ever see Mike Myers in So I Married excuse me, So I Married an Axe Murderer?
No.
You never saw that? Well, he's got like a brother or something like that in the movie, and the father makes fun of him because he has a big head. He calls him Head. Rest yourself on that big pillar. He's like Sputnik. He's got his own galaxy. You don't like the jokes? Go upstairs and cry yourself to sleep in that big pillar. Yeah. That was a good movie.
Sounds good.
It was very funny. I like Mike Myers and pretty much everything. So
he's a good actor.
Yes, sir.
Very good actor.
Yes, sir. So today's the borough elections.
Yeah, probably 4 people will vote.
And that is something sad.
It is sad.
I think they'll get at least 6.
Yeah.
It'll be like the parents and the spouses.
Yeah. How many people do you think are going to vote on the senior center?
Oh, it's going to pass.
How many do you think are going to vote? What do you think the numbers?
I don't know.
20.
No. I think
1,000,
if that.
1,500.
I mean the percent. I mean, first of all, the engagement for voting is very low in this town anyway. It's always higher during a presidential election. Usually, it's about 15 to 17%. during a presidential year.
Yeah.
But otherwise, everything else is about not even 10%.
It'd be interesting to see if a lot of people
It's
come
usually
out.
7 to 9%.
A lot of people
So.
come out, then it's going to be interesting to see what the attitude is.
I think it'll pass.
Yeah. I noticed there's signs up too.
I think there's a lot of people that are on the fence, but that they will begrudgingly vote yes to pass just because. You know what? They're gonna get it through one way or another.
Yeah, and I understand where the financial guy was coming from the other day when they kept saying he didn't want to take it out of the.
That was Dan Webster.
Yeah, he didn't want to take it out of the fund because it was going to impact bonding percentages and so on. But
well, that was his.
he was pretty adamant about it. And of course, it's not a rainy day fund,
right?
Which we misinterpreted because we got that from the state of Connecticut. But I don't know what you call a fund, but I can understand where he's coming from. But the other impact, the other impact is that it's one way or another they're going to get it, and it's going to impact you in the taxes. And I just think being,
time to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
This may flop, this vote right here, but it'll do it again, and it'll eventually get passed because there's no way in hell that they're going to go ahead and let that building sit idle. No.
I mean, I would say it probably costs you $30,000-$40,000 to keep that building up.
Yeah.
Insurance, heat, everything else to keep it going. Yeah. And vandalism, got to keep it protected from vandalism. I mean, there's so much vandalism going on in this town right now. It's unbelievable.
Board of Finance Chairman Scott Davis is in the group. Scott, do you have anything you want to add? I'd love to hear your take on this as well.
Yeah.
It's like you'd
Scott's always has a great opinion.
Yeah, he does.
I was just gonna say it's like, who was the man we talked to the other day? What was his name again?
It was Dan Webster.
Dan Webster. It's like Mr. Webster said. It's either ask the people for the money now, and the taxes are gonna hike. Everything's gonna happen now. And if we take it out of the general fund, it's just gonna dink us later. So it's a question of now versus later. Because they're gonna ask for percentage hikes, and they're gonna ask for all these other things, all the bondholders and everything, like he had said, and like you had just rebutted. It's gonna be either they're gonna dink us now or they're gonna dink us harder later. Because
the other thing that
so what you're saying is we're gonna get dinked.
No, the other thing.
I mean for the money, because money doesn't just come from nowhere. It's got to come from somewhere, from someone or a group of people. It's gonna. One way or another, someone's going to get their pay, and one way or another, someone's going to ask for it.
I think eventually that money could be put back.
Right.
I really do, because I still think that we've been idle for so long that
I think we're going to get Scott to call here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're right. But remember that old commercial? You can pay me now,
pay me later,
or you can pay me later.
I think
was that Midas Muffler?
Yeah, but I think now it's just a bad time because everybody's broke.
Right.
That's the problem.
Well, you're hitting them right in the shorts, at the tail end of a pandemic. So
right, where people are just getting back to work and they're just starting to make decent money again to support themselves and their family.
Well, even that isn't happening because a lot of people are having a hard time. Nobody wants to go to work. I mean, I was listening to the restaurant owners guy over the weekend from the state, and they can't get anybody to go to work. They can't get people to come in. The restaurants are open, but they can't find people to work in the restaurant because everybody's getting money. There we go.
Good morning, Scott.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, pretty good. We get the borough vote going on. Jewett City is about to secede from the nation. It's about time.
The lone borough, Jewett City, seceding from the union. We're doing it, boys.
Jewett City and Texas, both seceding from the union today.
Oh boy.
Anyway. So, what's going on with the Board of Finance there, Mr. Davis?
Same old. We have a meeting coming up on the 6th. We have a special meeting on the 6th. We're going to cover some budget items. The other topic is going to be on there is with regard to the senior center. Once we know the outcome of the referendum on the 5th. I listened to your commentary. I think that you can look at both sides of the fence, and I think that you can find some very, very valid arguments on
Sure.
on both sides. My personal takeaway, and I guess I wanna phrase it like that. My personal takeaway is this. I read some of the commentary on Grizzled Now, and I've talked to a lot of people. There have been a lot of people that have actually reached out to me, with regard to this, and there is, I guess some anger, quite a bit of anger with regard to the situation and how we got here and why we have to spend, more money. And I understand that, certainly, Paul and Mike, you guys know, we've had those conversations where I said, as a citizen and a taxpayer, yeah, I was pretty angry too. As a Board of Finance member, I've got to kind of put that in the drawer, and I've got to look at it from a different perspective. And I truly, see that as two very different options. I've heard I want to vote no because I'm so angry that, people did this or they didn't do that or they should have done that. So because that didn't happen, or because they didn't tell you guys, or because, they signed a contract or whatever, I'm going to vote no based on that. Well, I see it as really two very, very completely different issues. You can be upset with that component, and if there's something that was done incorrectly, then perhaps that should be investigated accordingly. But at the end of the day, the very, very separate and other issue is very simply, should we appropriate that money to complete the project so that the building can be utilized? Don't vote on being angry at somebody or being angry at circumstances. You need to really kind of compartmentalize it and say, okay, do I think that it should be completed? Number one, do I think that it should be funded in this way to complete it? Because really, that's what the vote's about. The other issue is just that, a separate issue that depending on what the outcome is, that can be handled completely different and should be handled completely different. But one should not be voted on based on being angry. My personal opinion, I think that taking that out of surplus makes sense, and I don't speak for the board when I say that. I speak on my own when I say that I think it should come out of surplus. 100% correct. It's not a rainy day fund. We don't overtax the community for the purpose of trying to build up some fund for situations like this. This overage comes as a result of some very, very savvy work on behalf of by our current finance director. He's able to refinance some debt a number of years ago, which resulted in savings. It comes from things like when we budget for a collection rate, that particular year, perhaps we're able to collect more in revenue than we budgeted for. Realistically, you don't ever budget for 100% because you can't. That's unrealistic. Some of that fund has been built up because although we budget for expenses and we budget based on what people truly believe they're going to spend, there are times when you clap your hands and you say that's fantastic. Our expenses came under because they were able to renegotiate things, spend less money. So rather than just saying, hey, I have extra money, I'm going to spend it so it doesn't get returned, they do the right thing and it gets returned back to the general fund. And then finally, another component that has been able to raise that year after year is that you do your best to budget on what you truly think the revenues are. And for a number of years, the school system has been able to put extra money into the general fund because their tuition numbers have increased. I am not a proponent of ever balancing a budget or lessening a mill rate in a budget by borrowing money out of our general fund, because it's just that you're borrowing. So the following year it snowballs. But every once in a while something bad happens and we're forced to have to say, okay, we need some money because this needs to be fixed, be purchased, whatever the case may be. Where can we get it from? That's of what that overage in the general fund is for. I mean, by and large, it's really for if for some reason, the state shuts down, they can't come to a budget, we need money to continue to operate because the revenues haven't come in from the state side. You need to have, X number of weeks or months worth of working capital so that we can continue to operate. But there is another component when the surplus numbers, come up. At the end of the day, if we were to take that money out of surplus, our numbers are still such that I think they were going to be 13 point something percent. I believe there was an article or something, and I forget whether it was in the Day or the Norwich Times or whatever that I read. And our finance director has said that look, we're still going to be at about, roughly 13%. I think by policy we're supposed to be at 8.5%. The auditors and the bonding agent, they want to see it at least 12%. So we're still within that range. Are we getting close to that comfort zone? Oh, absolutely, we are. But I mean, at the end of the day, what are the alternatives? We can, I guess, keep it vacant and say no, it can't be occupied, it can't be utilized. Hopefully, knock on wood, there's no damages that occur. We can say we're not going to open it. We want to get grant money. Well, we all know that that could take another year. That could take 2 years. There's no guarantee that we're going to get anything. And I hate to say it, but I guess I'm just going to throw it out there, and you can hit the censor button. But it seems like Eastern Connecticut and Griswold are kind of the bastard children of the state, and that we don't get a whole hell of a lot of money compared to other areas of southeastern Connecticut, and certainly when you compare us to central and the western part of the state. So my personal opinion, and don't misunderstand me. I don't say that easily. I certainly would rather not take it out of the general fund. I'd rather keep that money in there, but if that money is available, it provides a situation where we're able to continue to see this project through to the end. It's going to be able to then be utilized the way that it is supposed to. And as far as a tax increase goes, there is no tax increase to the taxpayers by doing so.
I mean, I kind of agree with you. I think if we were in different times when we weren't coming out of this pandemic, and then I don't think a lot of people would mind having an increase to their taxes. But now people are just getting back to work. The other thing that's coming down the road is the revaluation of property. I mean, that's going to happen here. I mean, I know it's not going to be was it going to be in this year's tax bill, or is it going to be next year?
No, it's not this year. I think it's going to be next year. We talked about that a little bit at our last meeting, and I'm sorry, I don't remember, but I think it's going to be on the grand list as of October. So it would really be in the following tax year, not this year.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, there's another increase that's going to happen to some people. So but then the other thing, if we weren't in the pandemic, then maybe some of these grants might have come through too, So, you got the left and the right here,
You're 100% right. I mean, nobody could foresee, the circumstances being what they are. Nobody ever predicted that, heck, the whole country for crying out loud would be shut down for a short period of time because of this. So certainly, that hasn't helped things.
Yeah.
So the vote is Wednesday, and it's from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. and it's going to be at the Griswold High School gymnasium. Is that correct, Sal?
I know that it is on. I know that it is on Wednesday. I know it's at the high school location. I'm going to have to defer to you. I don't know if it was the gym or the cafeteria. I just know that it's at the high school.
Yeah, it is at the gym. I was surprised it wasn't in the cafeteria. Don't know why, but it is going to be in the gymnasium. So
probably for social distancing, probably.
Yeah.
Space.
Yeah.
Well, then why didn't they do the presidential election there? They did the presidential election in the cafeteria. And you're probably gonna have 4x the voters for that than you will for this. So
yeah.
I don't know.
So what do you
I
think?
don't know. I hope it would be nice to see. To your point, Mike, it would really be nice to see a large turnout for this.
There's been a lot of talk, a lot of scuttlebutt, a lot of misinformation, a lot of information, a lot of stuff that goes back and forth. When it comes to this, so you would hope that somebody, or most people had formed an opinion. But the problem is, and you know it just as well as I do, and we talked about this earlier, is that in a non-presidential election year, the polls are weak, and we usually anywhere between 7% and 9% of registered voters get out there.
Right. Very true.
So I think if we see 1,000 votes, I think you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
That's just my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, out of what, 13,500 people in the town?
Right.
So anyway, you should do like a WWE type promo for this, Scott. Let me tell you, brother, if you don't get out and vote, then you're going to have a hard time moving forward in the town of Christmas.
That was back to that's back in the golden era, Mike. There's not so many people like us that remember those good days. The 80s and the 90s of the WWF, back when it was the WWF.
Yeah. Let me tell you right now, me and my 24-inch pythons will be carrying those ballot boxes from place to place, counting them votes, brother. You need to snap into them ballots like I snap into Slim Jims, brother.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Yeah. All right.
I can't keep these guys focused.
All right. So tomorrow night, no, I'm sorry, not tomorrow night. Wednesday night from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. Griswold High School in the gymnasium. You can vote either yay or nay on whether or not the town of Griswold will appropriate $760,000 from it's the general fund. Is that right, Scott?
Yeah, I think it's from the undesignated fund balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whether or not we want to take that money and put it, so we can complete the senior center.
Right.
And honestly, if it doesn't happen this way, it'll happen another way. So just get it done.
Yeah, like I said, we follow up. We're meeting virtually on Thursday, the very next evening. I think it's at 7 p.m.
Yep.
And that item, that topic is going to be on our agenda regardless of the outcome of the vote.
Got it. All right. Well, I wish you well, and as well as all of the members of the Board of Finance, and thank you for everything that you do collectively. And the person who I think is so much an unsung hero in this town is Eric Christensen.
I wholeheartedly agree. He is a tremendous asset to this town for everything he does and all of his knowledge. He's got such a vast wealth of knowledge with regard to municipal finance, state. Yeah, he really is the man.
And to have him back, because he left for a little bit to go teach, and then the pandemic hit, and now he came back. So,
yep.
I hope he understands and knows just how much he is appreciated in this town. So,
yep, wholeheartedly agree with that.
All right, well, Scott, let me ask you: Does the borough secede from the union today? Which way does the vote go?
No, I think they stay. I think they stay in the union.
Son of
a. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll have to see. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for always being available.
All right. Have a great day, guys.
You too. All right.
Bye. Yeah, bye-bye.
All right. So Scott Davis, the chairman of the Board of Finance here in the town of Griswold. We were able to have Dan Webster last week. So we've got a couple of good views, from different people that look at things differently. Yeah. The bottom line is whether or not you're going to get out there and vote.
Right.
And that's the key is to get out there and vote. Vote your conscience. Vote whether or not,
just vote on facts. Just don't vote on hearsay.
Right.
Yeah. One of
the you're going to find out why it's happening and what's going on. Make sure you go to the right place to get your information.
Yeah. Don't listen to some guy named Joe.
Griswold
now thinks he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Joe might, but
It's-
then
it-
again,
Yeah.
he might
But
not.
it's surprisingly enough, a lot of people on Grizzle now have no clue what the hell even going on. We're doing the senior center. When the hell did that happen? You know, it's like,
I put a thing up last night. Does anybody know that we're actually having a borough election today?
Yeah.
Some people knew, some people did not.
Yeah.
But
Well,
damn
you
it,
got-
we're going to put it on our Facebook page and everybody will know. No, it's not how it
Well,
works.
yeah, a lot of people, when it comes to borough stuff, a lot of people are not, nobody pays attention to it.
Which is, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. I mean, you've got Tim Sharkey, who spent many years as a borough burgess, and then he ascended to the throne. And he's going to get a second term because, nobody will beat Timmy right now anyway.
Yeah.
But either way, he's going to serve another term. And Tim's a long, he's a lifelong resident here in Jewett City. He knows what's going on.
Do
He's
they
a member
have
of the
to-
fire department for years.
Do
and-
they have to live in the borough in order to be on the borough? Is it a requirement?
I believe so.
So they have to live in the borough.
I would. Well, it's kind of like Grizzle. If you are on a Grizzle board, you have to be in the town of Grizzle. Do you not?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything that says you couldn't be a borough resident.
I'm not sure.
I don't think there's anything that says it has to be that you got to be a town of Grizzle, not a borough. I think it's open. So I wonder.
So you're saying somebody from Thousand Oaks, California, can be on the
No.
Grizzle Board of Finance?
No.
Okay.
No,
then
it's
what
not
are
what
you
I'm saying.
saying?
I'm saying it'd have to live in the town. Because borough, Jewett City is part of the town. Really, it's a borough within.
Oh
the
wait,
town.
so right, but I think people on the borough government have to live in the borough.
Well, that's what I didn't know.
I believe so.
I don't know. I don't know that answer.
If anybody knows that answer, let
I
us
don't know.
know. We'd love to know. So
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, another person in the room. I want to acknowledge. Hello, Linda.
Hmm.
Thanks for coming in. Alicia De La Cruz. Lida. I can say it like that because I know her.
Oh, okay.
She's just tremendous gas.
Yeah. Gotcha. So are you doing anything today as a?
Am I? Oh, wait a minute. You know what? We should do this, shouldn't we? All right. Like we said earlier, jump on in because we have something that we want to give away this morning. And so for the folks that have stayed with us through the morning and we want to reward somebody for hanging with us this morning. And it's very simple. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it right now. So write down a phone number. Here we go. 860-591-1054. Matter of fact, I am going to, I believe, put it up on the screen. Maybe not. 860-591-1054. So if you wrote that number down, I want you to go ahead and call it. Caller number 4 is going to win a $100 gift card to Big Y. So here we go. Let's try. Here we go. Hi, you're caller number 1. Try again. It's caller number 1. 860-591-1054 is the number. Dun, 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 dun. You're calling number 2. Try again. That's 2. We are looking for number 4. You're calling number 3. Try again. And the next one's going to be the winner. And Lori Sorter just said, you are correct. The people who serve in the borough government need to reside in the borough.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Good morning. Who's this? Hello? They were the winner and they hung up.
Oh, boy.
How do you like that? So guess what? We'll do the next one. The winner. The next one's going to do it. 860-591. Here it is. Oh, nope, not then. Jesus.
What the hell's going on?
I have no idea.
Somebody's fax machine?
Here we go. Let's try it again. Good morning. Who's this?
Linda Colby.
Linda, can you turn your device down a little bit? Because we hear a lot of feedback.
How's that? Better?
Yeah. Linda, how are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Did you wake up this morning thinking I'm going to win a $100 gift card to a Big Y supermarket?
No, I did not.
Well, guess what? You did.
Oh, thank you.
So congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Where are you calling from, Linda?
Chaplin, Connecticut.
All right. How'd you hear about us in Chaplin?
My aunt listens, and she got me hooked on listening.
Who's your aunt?
Linda Pinto.
Oh, great. Linda's in there all the time. She's very nice. We really appreciate her joining in a lot of the conversations, and we welcome you now that we get to know you, and just for that you get a $100 gift card to Big Y. So congratulations, and send me an instant message on Facebook so I get your information, so that way I can get this to you.
All right, that sounds great.
All right, thank you very much, Linda. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. So there we go. So I held on to one. And I wanted to make sure. And then, I got up today. I'm like, you know what? Boom, we're going to go ahead and do this.
That's good.
So we did. Yeah. So $100 gift card to Linda Colby. Congratulations to Big Y.
They just won $100. All they had to do was listen.
One hundo.
Imagine that.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free, yeah.
It's free to listen. It's free to win.
All you got to do is call. That was it.
Yeah.
And the thing was, is the person who won hung up.
I know. What a shame.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, so that's going to do it for us today. Congratulations to Linda Colby for winning the $100 gift card to Big Y, courtesy of from our friends at Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. What is Kasasa Cash Back? Well, you got to visit bankeasternct.com to figure it out, and we think you will like what you read once you go to bankeasternct.com. Don't forget the borough elections today. We've been talking about it all morning. Yeah, we've been teasing, will the borough secede from the union? No, that's not even a thing. But Tim Sharkey will once again get the warden. He'll win warden once again. He's being not challenged. Val Pledva as well, who's cross-endorsed. She will continue being the town clerk. And so really what's up for grabs are Burgess positions. So if you are a Jewett City resident, a borough resident, make sure you go down and vote today. They will be open until 8 o'clock tonight down at Town Hall, 28 Main Street in Jewett City. So go down there and vote. Vote your conscience. This is your borough government. You want to make sure that you have a say in it. And this is the way you do it.
Right.
This is the way you do it.
It's only open to the borough.
That's correct.
Not
And I want to thank Lori for putting it out there today because we weren't
I
sure.
wasn't sure.
Yeah, and I just put it up there. It said, you're correct. The people who serve in the borough government need to reside in the borough per the charter.
Gotcha.
The Jewett City has a
I didn't
charter.
know that.
So,
Okay.
got it?
Got it.
Boom, shakalaka.
Yep.
All right, Paul, thank you very much for coming in. We'll see you once again on Wednesday. Austin,
Yeah.
you're a good kid, man.
Thank you.
I only say that to you when we're, in public, but
Yeah,
we know
right.
how it is, so.
Yeah.
And we're so glad to have Austin with us as our intern here at SNSN. He does so many things that you don't even realize that he does on the back end. So let's see, Phil Michelle will be a little bit later on, who has been with us for about 4.5 years, started off as an intern.
Yep.
He has his own show live from the Griswold Youth Center. And then our old pal Angie from 2 to 6. If you haven't listened to Angie, listen to her. She's lots of fun. And she's a little goofy and does a lot of pop culture and also has a lot of great 80s and 90s rock and roll from 2 to 6. Have a great day, everyone. And we will see you once again on the radio tomorrow morning for Psychic Tuesday. It'll be a blast. It always is. Have a good day, everyone. See ya.
Streaming live.
I love it. It's the best rock station ever.
We listen to you all the time. Broadcasting from within our 6 feet social.